As Meta Quest 3 is approaching its release, here's everything we know so far. In this video, we'll take a look at Quest 3 and look at the confirmed and unconfirmed leaks, as well as some speculation. We have a lot to cover, so let's get straight into the video. Let's first get into the specs of the headset. Quest 3 will possibly feature 2 LCD displays with pancake lenses, upgraded from the 1 LCD display on Quest 2 without the pancake lenses. Meta is still testing the possibilities of 1 LCD versus 2 LCD, so it could be either for what actually gets implemented. The pancake lenses will let the lens portion of the headset be much slimmer, which allows Meta to include more technology inside, and you can clearly see that the rendered model from the CAD files is about half the size of the Quest 2. As for the resolution, the internal prototype at Meta offers 2064 by 2208 pixels per eye, which will be about a 30% increase from Quest 2, but since it's unconfirmed leak of a prototype, this could change drastically by the time of release. We have seen in the version 49 update that a device that we think is Quest 3 is associated with 90Hz and 120Hz displays, and John Carmack, the former Oculus CTO, also stated that every headset after Quest Pro will feature a 120Hz display, so everything lines up here. Mark Zuckerberg has stated that Meta will be focusing on the upgraded mixed reality experience for Quest 3, and its pass-through will feature an RGB camera for a full color pass-through instead of the grainy black and white you see in Quest 2. The RGB camera was seen in the leaked CAD file, so I would be pretty confident about this feature. When you look at all of the sensors on Quest 3, you have twice the amount of front-facing cameras compared to Quest Pro, and Quest 3 is also expected to include a depth sensor, which would improve the mixed reality feature, including the improvement of the Guardian feature. There are much more from the CAD files, so let's keep going at it. You also see this wheel here, which will be the stepless IPD that's popular with other VR headsets on the market, and Mark Zuckerberg also stated that there will be a button you can press to adjust the distance of the lenses from your eyes. I haven't seen any physical video of this, but I'm guessing that it'll be something very similar to the PSVR 2 headset. These 3 dots here tells us that you can also charge Quest 3 on the charging dock that comes with Quest Pro. I doubt that Quest 3 will come with the charging dock out of the box, but it will be one of those extra add-ons that you can get from the Meta store. As VR headsets right now do not have a long charge, it would be nice just to set the headset down after use, so you'll have a fully charged device ready to go the next time you play. The performance is the part I'm really excited about. This portion is unconfirmed, but Quest 3 is expected to take advantage of the next generation of Snapdragon XR2 chip, which would make the chip Gen 2. The chip isn't even announced by Qualcomm at this point, but this is where Quest 3 will bring out its 2 times the computing power of Quest 2, and this spec is confirmed by Mark Zuck. So with Quest 3, you would have a device that's 2 times thinner than Quest 2 with 2 times the power, which is such a huge leap for VR. Going back to the CAD files, you see the same cheap fabric strap that you saw on Quest 2 make its return on Quest 3. The USB-C charging port is within the head strap apparatus, which makes all upgraded head straps from Meta, Kiwi, Bobo VR, or any other third parties non-compatible because it would be basically blocking the USB-C port. This is my speculation, but if the hinge has the exact same dimensions, then you could attach the upgraded head straps for Quest 2, which would block the charging port, but if Quest 3 could be charged via the charging dock of Quest Pro, then you don't need to use the charging port unless you're transferring files to your PC or sideloading games from SideQuest. But I'm sure Meta wants you to spend more money on Quest 3 head straps, so Quest 2 head straps are probably not compatible with Quest 3. This next part was definitely surprising for me, but based on the CAD files, we do not expect face and eye tracking on Quest 3, which was further backed up by Andrew Balls, who is a Meta executive, because it would cost too much. I do think face and eye tracking is the way VR headsets are heading toward in the future, so I kinda assumed that Meta would include this feature going forward, but apparently we will only see this feature on a Pro headset at least for a while. This next part is my speculation, but just like Quest 2, I would expect that Quest 3 will have two models that you can purchase that will differ in storage size, which will most likely be 256 and 512 gigabytes. The topic of naming always comes up around this time of a product release, so I just want to go over it. Even though it's not officially confirmed by Meta, this Quest 3 device that we're talking about will most likely be called Meta Quest 3. Some people come up with crazy names, and I don't want you to be confused by other YouTubers. We have already seen the name Meta Quest 3 in software updates, so even though it's not officially confirmed, it's very likely that Meta will stick with the name rather than changing it last minute. When it comes to the release date, there are a lot of rumors going around, so let's at least talk about what we know so far, and I'll make my best guess. We currently have official confirmation from Mark Zuck that Quest 3 will release in the second half of 2023, so depending on when you're watching this video, it's within the next 8 months. For my own speculation of the release of Quest 3, I believe that the headset will be announced in September and be released in October. Here's why. Looking at the patterns, Quest 2 was announced at Facebook Connect 2020 in September and was released on the following October. Quest Pro was announced at Meta Connect 2022 in early October for a release in the later part of the same month. So it only makes sense that Quest 3 will be announced at Meta Connect 2023, which happens every year in September or October, followed by the actual release a few weeks later. I've mentioned this in my previous videos, but I will be hosting a Quest 3 giveaway if I am wrong about the announcement and the release date of Quest 3. This is just a way for me to be responsible with my speculations, so I'm not making random guesses just to hype something up. Now the price of the headset. I've always heard crazy things about the expected price from random people, but we are able to make an educated guess based on the confirmed information that we have. Initially, Mark Zuck told us that Meta Quest 3 will be in the $300 to $500 price range. Later on, he added that Quest 3 will cost slightly more than the $400 Meta Quest 2. So just from these two things, we know that it will be more than $400, but less than $500. Since Quest 2 256 version is selling at $430, I do think it will definitely cost more than that, which makes me think that it will be $499.99 for the base model and somewhere in the $500 range for the higher storage model. I did get a lot of comments on previous videos regarding Meta Quest 3 and whether you should get a Quest 2 now or wait for Quest 3 to release. I do go more into this topic in another video that I'll leave in the top right corner as well as in the description, so check that out in case you have the same question. New information always comes out as time gets closer to official launch, so check the pinned comment for the latest updates. In the meantime, let me know your thoughts about Meta Quest 3.